What up guys, Frazier here for Complex News. For the type of obsessive listeners like me who scour liner notes and credits, the new Kanye and Kid Cudi album Kids See Ghost provided a treasure trove of information. For every obvious but uncredited inclusion like pusha-t or Yasin Bey, there's a surprise, like learning Mr. Hudson is alongside Cudi on the album closer, or that dude from Rat-a-tat returned to help give us the spiritual sequel to Pursuit of Happiness that is reborn. But in between the nod to the insane amount of jobs Mike Dean had and the involvement of a guy who was DJing weddings less than 2 years ago, there was an interesting tidbit. On Fourth Dimension, Louis Prima was listed as a featured artist. This was notable for several reasons. First, Prima was a singer and trumpet player best known for swing tunes like Jump, Jive, and Wail. Second, he died in 1978. Prima's 1936 holiday track What Will Santa Claus Say When He Finds Everybody Swingin' is sampled on Fourth Dimension. But how did an 82-year-old song end up on one of the most anticipated albums of the year? And how did its singer go from sample source to featured artist? To get the answers, Complex reached out to Anthony Sylvester, the attorney who handles affairs for the Gia Prima Foundation, which was started by Prima's late wife. The foundation sponsors a number of initiatives devoted to music education. Now, this isn't the first time Kanye's given posthumous feature credit. He did so twice on his previous collab album, Watch the Throne, listing Otis Redding on Otis and Curtis Mayfield on The Joy. Here's how Prima became the third. It all happened very quickly, within the last week. Kanye and his people were gracious with sharing the recording with us and acknowledging the contribution of Louis Prima to the song. They were very, very receptive to the idea that, for all intents and purposes, Louis was featured. I didn't really expect the idea of Louis being a featured artist to go anywhere. And then the next day, there it was. It really speaks to the graciousness of Kanye and his people. Now, of course, we also had to ask about their reaction to Kanye being interested in the first place, considering it's a very unusual sample source, not to mention he flipped the Christmas song for a track where he raps about being in the wrong hole. To my memory, this is the only request we've ever gotten for this song. Either Kanye has an encyclopedic knowledge of music, or he has people who are assisting him to find this, but this is not something that comes to the front of my mind in terms of a Prima song. When the request was made for a call, I expected it would be something a little more popular. I actually expected somehow he wanted to sample Sing Sing Sing, maybe the drum part or something. For this one, my jaw dropped. Anthony went on to tell us that all royalties from Prima being listed as a feature will end up being used either to give a scholarship out to the New Orleans Center of Creative Arts students, or a marching band camp at the Warren Easton School in New Orleans. And he hopes that through all of this, beyond Fourth Dimension being a banger, he hopes it leads people to a deep dive through Prima's extensive catalog. So keep Fourth Dimension on replay, and maybe check out more Louis Prima songs if you feel so inclined. For Complex News, I'm Frazier.